I know, I get it. You can't see my face. Listen, the last thing I ever wanted was for this to be some sort of drama channel. And there's something that's been going on that honestly I thought I would avoid talking about it altogether, but there are things that I feel like I just need to say out loud, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. First, I want to talk about the movie that's captured everyone's attention. It's called Obsession. And I'm not a horror guy, but for my money, is it necessarily an amazing movie? I mean, as far as horror goes, it's not really that scary. Creepy as all hell, but scary. I mean, honestly, the response to it is scarier than a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie. And by the response, yes, I do mean that guy, Alex Meyers. We'll get into that in a second, but for those of you who don't know the movie Obsession, it's about a guy named Bear. He makes a wish on a one wish willow that a girl he has a crush on, who clearly doesn't like him back, doesn't see him as anything more than a friend, he wishes that she would love him more than anything. And the wish works, and she turns into this crazy, obsessed person. And then the entire discord around the movie became, well, who's the bad guy? Like, that kind of became just the entire thing. Because, people. Because some people just don't know how to think critically. But. And there's this whole issue about, like, consent. And the fact that. Because what I remember seeing commercials for this movie, and like it's that scene of him in the car where he's like, is any of this real? And the response is, just because you chose this for her doesn't make it less real. But that's the entire point, is that he chose it for her. She didn't. She has no choice in the matter. So, honestly, that movie, I hate it. Not because it's bad, but because it kind of forced me to be a little introspective. Because if I'm being a little honest, as a teenager especially, and maybe through the majority of my 20s, that's probably the exact wish that I make. Maybe not those exact words. Probably would have worded it better. Can't guarantee it would have turned out better, but I would have said something along the lines of, no, I wish blah blah loved me the way I love her, that she thought about me as much as I thought about her, that she wanted me as much as I want her, that she dreamed about me as much as I dream about her. And I think that could still end up going down a bad path, because maybe then you find out that your love isn't as pure as you thought it was. But the point is, yeah, I think Bear is relatable as a character, because I think we've all been in that position where you want someone that does not want you back, and it hurts to not be wanted. But what makes him the villain isn't that, oh, he's just a nice guy who made a bad wish and it turned out horribly. It's he had multiple opportunities to fix this, and he didn't, because selfishly he got what he wanted. No, he got the girl, and that's the whole thing. So even though he knew it was wrong, and he knows, you know, he knows that there's something clearly wrong, and he never makes any effort to remedy it until it goes bad for him. Because hey, he has the girl, she wants him, so it's like, hey, I can tolerate the little weird things because I get to go home to the girl. And that's what truly makes him the villain. Not necessarily that he's an evil human being, but he's definitely incredibly selfish, self centered, and he doesn't seem to actually care about her at all. Claims to love her, but he's definitely, if he cared about her, he'd have never let it go as far as it did. And that's the thing that people like Alex Meyers aren't getting. Now, for those of you who don't know, he's been blowing up recently. He's already a pretty well-known reviewer. And if you haven't seen the discourse, well, I follow a lot of review channels who have suddenly started reviewing him and a bunch of other little YouTubers who are just like, okay, let's talk about this asshole. I don't want to talk about this asshole specifically, but let's talk about a lot of things involving him and his thoughts on the movie, which to begin with, like him saying that people don't understand the movie and that he's not as bad as not as bad as people think is very on brand. It seems to be. I've never actually seen an Alex Meyers movie, but for years he's been popping up in my suggestions, and there's only been like a handful of times when I've been interested enough to click. But it seems like every single video literally has the same thumbnail, the same title. It's just like, hey, this popular movie that everyone loves actually kind of sucks. Seems like his entire brand is just being a contrarian. So a movie that's very well loved and people are saying, oh, this guy's a villain. He's like, well, actually, it's not that great a movie. It's a movie demonizing a guy who's just, a poor victim. So yeah, nothing about his response shocks me. But, I mean, it is shocking, like, the fact that he's not smart enough to at least just say he made a mistake, even if you don't believe it. Just constantly doubling down amongst a sea of people attacking. He's just like, hey, I said at the beginning not everyone was going to love it. And his main defense seems to be like, hey, what else was he supposed to do? I mean, she kissed him. Yeah, but the whole thing in the movie is that the real her is trapped in there, completely out of control, because whatever thing he made a wish on, the wish somehow took over her body from her, and he's taking full advantage. And he knows there's something wrong with her. All her friends know there's something wrong with her. They're worried that he's taking advantage of her while she's in a drug-induced state. And he's like, hey, she just loves me. That's all it is. I mean, it's a very good movie. Honestly, it's a good first date movie. Because if you watch this movie, if you go on a first date, you watch this movie, and your date is like, wow, I feel bad for that bear guy. It's time to run. It's time to run like hell, though. Get the fuck out of there. And I'm not going to sit here and try to claim like I'm a paragon of virtue. Like I said, for more than a decade of my life, it's pretty much the exact wish I would have made. And you can't really know for sure until you're in that situation that you would have made a better decision. But I do know that now, as an adult, being able to look back on the stupidity of my childhood years, I'm like if I happen to go back in time and I just see my 16-year-old self with any kind of magical wishing device, I'd be like, nope, give that back. You are not ready for the responsibilities of this. You give me that monkey's paw. You give me that goddamn monkey's paw. But I'm not going to lie and say that I don't have a wish, because I know, if I had only one wish, it wouldn't be for money or like, oh, you can eat whatever you want and never get fat. Well, that would be a good wish. I mean, my wish would be reverse, basically. Like to reverse the clock, to go back in time, keep all the knowledge from 40 years of life and just go back to childhood. Start again from age 5 and just live better, make better decisions, be a better person, do a better job choosing the right friends, be a better friend to the people who were good friends to me. There's so many things I would change about my life if I could. But I learned the hard way that magic does not exist in this world. So you gotta learn to let go of the past and start making the best decision we can so that today and tomorrow are as good as they can be. Because like today, hey, I'm eating candy. I went and bought like $40 worth of candy. Why? Because I'm almost out. I got one bag of like sweet cherry sours. That's not enough. I need chocolate in my apartment at all times because I've tried quitting chocolate cold turkey, and it just results in me buying $200 worth and eating all of it that day. Not even joking. That happened once. It was a scary day. So I need to like regularly give myself at least small doses of it, just so that I don't go crazy down the line. Anyways, that's enough about me. I just wanted to give my brief opinions on that subject. Yeah, someone that's kind of always been an asshole has finally been exposed for how much of an asshole he always is. It's like, oh yeah, the world keeps spinning round. And honestly, it does make me smile. It's always great when you get proven right about something when everyone else said, nah, give him a chance. Because I've had that happen multiple times. Look, first and foremost, everyone's the villain in someone else's story. I'm sure there are plenty of people who feel like their lives legitimately would have been better if they'd never met me. And I can't fault them for that. It's probably true. Far from perfect. But I also know there have been plenty of times where someone shows up at like work and like day one, I'm telling everyone, this guy sucks. And they're like, give him a chance. And I'm like, all right. And then months later, they're like, Jesus, why did they hire this guy? I can't fucking stand him. And I'm like, I tried to told you.